Aside from being less stressed, getting more sleep, eating whole foods from nature, and being more hydrated, what else could reduce your odds of getting sick, right? In terms of lifestyle. Well, aside from talking about vaccines and things like that, and natural supplements, which we'll kind of briefly touch on at the end, at least review, exercise. Exercise is a fantastic immune system booster. And this comes with a caveat, right? And we'll talk about that in a second. But what is exercise kind of doing here, right? Well, it's helping to pump the blood and lymphatic fluid throughout the body, right? And you have all these immune cells that are produced by, say, the spleen or the thymus or even the bone marrow, and it helps them to circulate throughout the body. Their circulation will be increased for up to 3 hours following the exercise. And what does that mean? Well, it means your body has more eyes in more places. And so, if there's any sort of invading microorganism, any bacteria or virus anywhere, at one time, your immune system is more likely to pick it up and it's better able to combat it because there's more support through that flow of blood and lymphatic fluid, which is carrying, of course, all of your immune cells, typically first to the site, maybe something like a neutrophil, it'll kind of chomp some of the stuff up. Anyway, it's not an immune lesson, but that's another reason you could exercise. So do I have to work out really hard to get the benefit of boosting my immune system with exercise? Well, the answer is really no. I mean, you don't have to kill yourself. And in fact, you definitely don't want to really kill yourself, at least consistently and without food or ample amounts of sleep, right? And so if you work out really hard for a long period of time, right, at high intensity for say, a few hours and don't eat, right, you're actually dropping your immune system following the workout temporarily. Now, I'm big on working out in a fasted state. I'll typically take branched chain amino acids. These are things that build muscle, right? At least help your body to do so. They're the building blocks of proteins that we, find in muscle to help growth. Anyway, but I'll have those typically before the workout if I'm fasted, right? Now, I have other things that help to pick up the slack in terms of energy. Super U is obviously my favorite thing. I have that every day, for enhancing mental and physical performance. But if you don't know what that is, and we don't need to talk about it a lot right now, it's a supplement that we made. All natural, really, really great stuff. Supports a lot of good functions in the body. But like muscle growth and boosting endurance and exercise performance and burning fat and reducing inflammation in the gut, supporting brain cell communication, supporting brain health, and a lot of other things. But before your workout, make sure you have ample nutrition, or right after the workout, make sure you're getting ample nutrition. If you're working out really hard, right? And if you're working out in that fasted state, again, to prevent muscle breakdown, maybe go for something like those amino acids. Now, how we got here was to boost your immune system, right? It's not that you should go in there and be a psycho to the point where you're abusing your body. You can be a psycho. If you're well fed, you've slept a lot, don't worry about it. Then you can go in, you can go really hard, and you're probably not going to drop your immune system after, but more likely than not, you're going to boost your immune system. That's really the only caveat we're going to talk about here in terms of exercise actually having a negative effect on the immune system temporarily, keyword there, right? Unless you do this chronically and abuse your body all the time, right? If you're going to work hard, you need to also recover hard. Like we always say, you don't fill a Ferrari up with regular. So, that principle, applies here as well, right? So if you want to exercise just to boost your immune system, you can do things like go walk. You don't have to do a bunch of burpees and crazy stuff. Start slow. You can break up your exercise throughout the day. If, these are the types of purposes you're doing it for, and to just improve blood flow, you don't care as much about body composition. You can go for walks or a nice bike ride. Just really get moving, movement is medicine. You have to remember, we always say that, but movement is doing what? And the example illustrated, here, the principle illustrated here by exercise, that you're pumping blood through your body. And we said lymphatic fluid, right? And so that, ridiculous. So that is, a good way to boost your immune system naturally. And that's what we got for you guys today. So what are the top supplements for boosting immunity? You guys know. Vitamin C, we all know, right? Vitamin D, right? Zinc would be secondary option. It's also great. It's when you got throat stuff, you know. Suck on a lozenge. You don't want to just swallow it right away. And some promising supplements. We have things like spirulina and honey and vitamin E, Pelargonium pseudoides, echinacea, you know, all that kind of stuff. Mkalawabu. What's up, Rhonda? How you doing? Health, fit, motivation. Thank you. Okay. You're funny. Victoria, you're great. Twerk. Realtor Johnny, you could be, if you want to be on Low Wellness, then twerk one time. We can make that happen. Maybe we'll have a When Wellness twerk off. Get a bunch of people out here. Kendrick, how you doing? What's up, Health, Fit, Motivation? You said that stuff already. All right. Veronica, what's up, gorgeous lady? Scoopster, Mark Fisher, Healing Wolf Coaching, and Ernesto Molina. Thank you for the support. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. As for now, that's all we got for you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have a great one. Thank you very much. Happy When Wellness. See you tomorrow.